And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. We've got a very special guest for you today. Well, I say this all the time, but still,
I don't know about
he's here. Tom's here
that.
again. Obviously, he's been to the couple of them. He's been to the Napoli match. He's seen Europa League before as well. Now, well, first of all, mate, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, good. I think I'm just about over the disappointing game at the weekend. Now focusing on this one. Hopefully it's a big game, and hopefully we can show up and get a big win.
Let's see. I'm hoping so as well. Again, I think we'll go into formations, tactics. We'll look into Sparta Moscow as well because it is looking a little bit juicy. However, don't get too confident. That's normally where Leicester kind of mess things up as well. But as we know before in the past. Anyway, first of all, I think we got your thoughts on the last game. But obviously, I thought we're playing Legia Warsaw, but the fact that we're playing Napoli, we're playing the back-to-back. Anyway, in terms of Sparta Moscow.
Yeah, the team you play first, you play last. It's strange like that. It's strange.
Yeah, it's a weird one. But just coming on to obviously the man that's in the title already, Patson Daka. I mean, he's pretty awesome, but what a performance he had.
Yeah, obviously. Unfortunately, I was during work hours, so I was unable to watch it. But I was just on my phone, and like I couldn't. Like I looked 1 minute we were losing, and I looked another, and he'd scored a hat trick. I mean, yeah, fair play. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I'm sure he's going to start, and Spartak Moscow are going to be worried about him. Obviously, do you know they lost 7-1 in the league at the weekend, Spartak Moscow, to their big rivals, Zenit St. Petersburg. So, I mean, they've gone from conceding. Yeah. So they conceded 4 against us, 7 against them. So, I mean, obviously, you could look at it that they're going to be desperate to kind of turn that around and put in a better performance, but hopefully they're kind of there for the taking at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess so. And that was my point again. 7-1 to local rivals, and it's kind of like what we heard on BBC Radio Leicester. They were saying that the report from there was saying basically it's the equivalent of Man United losing 5-0 to Liverpool. So it's kind of a similar position, but I don't want to say I can't see a turnaround. They've been stale like this for a while. The fact that they went 2-0 up and lost 4-2 kind of showed you as well. I mean, Daka had an absolute stormer, but I'm hoping for a Daka showcase again tonight. Are you?
Yeah, definitely. So far every time he's been asked to perform, he's kind of looked quite sharp, and then that kind of performance, those 4 goals really showed everyone what he's capable of. So I think it's a bit of a shame for him that he's not probably getting as many chances in the Premier League as he may like. Like, he hasn't had a start yet in the Premier League, but this is definitely his opportunity to kind of keep that pressure up on the starting lineup and keep showing us what he's capable of.
Yeah, and we're seeing now he's kind of getting into the best form of basically his, I won't say of his career, but in terms of Leicester City, obviously it's only been about 15 odd games or so now, but he's looked promising. I know you look at the game against Brighton, for example, even though he didn't get on the score sheet or assist, he was a massive pain in their backside the entire time, running on to and I don't know if you noticed with this because we were at the game. Luke Thomas and everybody on that left-hand side were just picking the ball over to the right, like old Jimmy Vardy's like, put the ball over there, I'll go and chase it. And if you watch, for example, for the first goal, even though he didn't actually assist or anything, he was a big part in closing down. So the goalkeeper made a mistake for Barnes to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I've touched on it already, but he's quite an infectious character. Like, I really, really like the guy. Yeah. And you can see how passionate he is, not only about playing football, but about like playing for Leicester. Did you see Rodgers' comments the other week that when he first signed, they offered to give him a PlayStation or whatever for his room to keep him entertained, and he said all he wanted was books about Leicester. So I think that shows the kind of character he is, and I think we're all excited by his quality, but also kind of buying into him as a character and as a guy. So it's another chance for him to perform, and hopefully he can bring it to the table. I think. We'll probably touch on this, but I think Barnes and Lookman will probably come in, and it might be a kind of similar setup to what we saw in the League Cup against Brighton.
Yeah, just coming on to that again, there'll be something that we're gonna mention just here as well. Looking at this and going, in terms of the group, it is quite tight. Well, again, we'll come on to formations in just a bit. In terms of that, it's again, this was a little bit of a group of death, but the points are definitely showing it. Again, Napoli on 4 points, same as us, head on goal difference. I think they won 3-0 against Legia Warsaw recently as well. So it is all to pay. Sorry, against Sparta Moscow. No, I
No, I
can't
think
remember
it
now.
was
It must
against
be.
Legia. Yeah, it was against Legia. So yeah, they've
Yeah.
got that one loss, which was that game.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
like
it's
when
really tight.
it really is like when we I came on I came on the show after we lost to Legia Warsaw. And obviously,
Hmm.
we were a bit down in the dumps after that result, and we had 1 point after 2 games. But because Napoli lost that same game week to Spartak, it really did throw the group wide open, and I think that's why there was still a lot of reasons to feel positive. And now that we got that away win against Spartak, obviously the next 2 games at home to Legia, at home to Spartak this week. If we can win both of those games at home, then I think I don't want to do the calculations, but I think that pretty much puts us through even before the Napoli game. So yeah, hopefully, because that last game away to Napoli is going to be very difficult. The form that they're on in Serie A is unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And again, they're a top European side, as we found out last time. But what really, I mean, it's going to be such a tight group, and again, that could easily be a Champions League group thing. Man, if anything goes wrong, we're manifesting into the universe. That could be a Champions League group, potentially in the future. But yeah, super super tight around there as well. Something that you mentioned as well. So, in terms of the formation, I'll bring up some of those statistics some of the formations that I've got. So we played like a 3-5-2 against Brighton, basically the same time last week. We had 10 changes. Shunchu was the only person that kept their place. I don't know if you managed to see the game at all.
Sorry, the weekend,
No, the Brighton game.
the Brighton game. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was a full change 11, basically. We're going to say Sionchu, even though he played, but full change team, basically.
Yeah.
With that, can you see any of them starting midweek?
It's a good question. I think that Rodgers is going to want to play a stronger team than we did in that Brighton game because it is such a big game and we do still really need to win, especially if we want to go through. But I do think we'll see some changes. So I think it will probably be a kind of mixture of the team that played against Brighton and the team that played at the weekend. So I do think Lookman and Barnes will come back in and we'll switch to that same system with the kind of 2 inverted wingers behind a striker, probably Daka. But then I think behind that, we're going to see probably our strongest players. So I suspect Evans and Siunchu will kind of partner at the back. Well, it was kind of, what was it? It was kind of like a 3-4-3, wasn't it? So if he does do that, then
Yeah.
I reckon we'll play Siunchu, Evans at the back, and I think maybe Bertrand might come in because it's been a while since we've seen him play on the
Fair
left.
enough. Again, I've got kind of a formation that we could play here. It's kind of as you were kind of saying, probably a 4-2-3-1. Again, we've probably got Schmeichel in goal. So I think because again the group is so tight, it's going to be a combination, as you were saying, of the team that played at the weekend. Because Brendan Rodgers will want to get out of the group, as you were saying, and this is the kind of team I'm thinking he's going to play. I think again, Harvey Barnes playing more of kind of an out and out winger, and same with Lookman as well. I think Harvey Barnes, even when he came on, obviously a goal really helped his performance against Brighton. And then obviously, I think once he came on, he was one of the standout players for us on that left-hand side and pretty much carving open the Arsenal's defence for about 15 odd minutes as well.
Yeah, definitely. He looked well. He was our best player at the weekend, even though he only came on at half time. And yeah, he's definitely. I think a couple of weeks out of the team has seemed to have helped him, and he's come back in and looked really hungry. Yeah, really hungry to perform. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is sort of the formation that we ended with, wasn't it? That we switched to in the second half on Saturday against Brighton. We played kind of a 3-4-3, but I think you're right. I think he'll probably go with this, and also I think we haven't seen Soyuncu and Evans just play as centre backs. We know that partnership has worked for us in the past. It's been quite solid. So I think taking Almaty and Vestergaard out and going with that kind of partnership that we've seen plenty of times before would be a sensible decision.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely agree there. And one thing as well, obviously Castano, I think he's one of our solid performers as well. He kept what's he called? Kept Saka quite quiet, I think, in the second half as well. I don't know, I think he played on the right, so I think it was Luke Thomas. Again, he had a torrid time in the first half. The backline, obviously, we mentioned these two, probably these three as well. Wing backs, wing backs, but the people that attacking fullbacks, let's say. Is there anybody out? I put Prairing and Castagna just because I thought what you were saying. We play a strong team, we get the points, and we try and get this group done as soon as we can, so we can start playing like some lesser players, like Daniel Amati or Vestergaard and things, so we don't have to worry about getting the points as much and try and finish top of the group. However, would you change either of these left back or right back at the moment?
Is Ricardo? What was wrong with him at the weekend? Was he ill?
He had a slight injury. I don't think it was anything too concerned. He may be fit, but for example, he got a knock, but I don't think it was anything serious.
Okay, well, yeah, I think if he is fit, I do think to go with that back four, and like we've done in recent weeks, switch Castagna over to the left and play Ricardo on the right. But if if he's that like maybe if not fully recovered, I doubt we'll take that risk, and so it'll probably be either Luke Thomas or Bertrand. But I think after that performance at the weekend, and I'm not having a go at Luke Thomas here. Like it wasn't his fault. He's playing wing back. It was very difficult for him. But I think that we might see Bertrand come in on the left and Castano on the right if Ricardo isn't fully fit.
I guess let's have a look at it. We'll try and put that in a little bit as well, because I imagined him playing in that position then Castagna. Because again, Castagna, regardless of how good we play, and what I'm actually really impressed with the Castagna as well, not just his work rate, and he used to bomb up and down that wing a little bit more, but in this position, when he's talking to the media, especially when we were playing really poorly, he was really open and honest about it and just going, look, this isn't good enough. We will sort it out. But what was really refreshing is, I don't know if you managed to hear his post-match interview. I was really impressed with the way, not just how he delivered himself, but he wasn't trying to apologize for it. He was just trying to be like, right, this isn't good enough, but we will try and sort it out because it's not good.
Yeah, I think he's been one of our highest performers through this season. Definitely one of our most consistent. So for him to say that it shows that like he's got the right attitude, and I think ever since he's come in for us, he's done such a good job. Like he's a really good player and a versatile player. He can play on the left, on the right, wing back, full back. He gives us a lot of options. So I'm a big fan of Castagna, and I'm sure that he will play tomorrow. One position there that I think could potentially change. I don't know what you think, but I think Samare has struggled a little bit the last couple of games, and I think maybe Hamza might play.
If only there was a way of showing you. I have that prepared on the next one. I have that. Obviously, I've got Hamza prepared and everything. Just his story of my life. Again, a kind of a similar thing. So I've changed it up. So this would be more of a complete again. Put Vestergaard in instead of Evans again. The same thing. Castagna Pereira kept the same. But I was impressed with the double pivot of Dewsbury, Hall, and Chowdhury. And I thought honestly, it's going to be a real tough game to start both of them. But now that again, heaven forbid something happens to Tielemans, these two come in and obviously Ndidi's out. These two, I think, could work side by side. And I think it is an option. It's not my favorite option, but I think I'm confident in this option that it could work, especially when you've got somebody like Perez that can drop back and help defensively as well.
Again, I think Perez has been a bit unfortunate with little injuries and illness and stuff that he hasn't played more, because he has looked pretty good when he has featured this season. So, again, I wouldn't be, except from Vestergaard, to be honest, I wouldn't. I would be fine with this team. Like you say, I think that those two, Hamza and Dewsbury Hall in the middle, they didn't set the world alight against Brighton, but they did do a good job. And like I think I like the way that they combine in the sense that Hamza's more of your kind of ball winning, energetic kind of midfielder, and Dewsbury Hall's maybe a bit more technical and likes to get forward a bit more. So they seem to complement each other quite well. Yeah, but at the same time, like you say, I think these next two home games in the Europa League, Spartak and Legia, they're kind of must-win games because we don't want to leave ourselves having to get a result at Napoli on the last game, because that's going to be a really difficult one. So we saw in that last match away to Spartak that Rodgers went with a really strong lineup, and I don't know. I think he will make some changes, but like I think our main kind of players like Tielemans and Tielemans, Evans, and Sionchu will play. But yeah, I'm sure that Lookman, Barnes, and Daka will be the front three. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah, I don't think we touched on them too much because, again, I could imagine that Daka started with the amount of minutes, and also against an opposition that he knows how to, let's put it nicely, batter. Because 4 goals, I mean, he was carved open again. One of the reasons why people ask, oh, did you do a post match? I was like, I've only, again, like yourself, Tom, I was working, so I can't do a post match of a 3-minute highlight reel because it's just I don't. Again, I was like you, I was watching it. I think at half time. About the time I left work. And I was like, oh, geez, we're 2-1 down. Here we go. Leicester City, blah, blah, blah. And then I got home and it was like 4-2. And I was like, how have they done that? Like, it was unbelievable. It was fantastic in a good way. Leicester City, again, it's kind of the story of us supporting Leicester City. They never make it easy, do they? Just like the last 2 times when we slipped out of the Champions League spots. They don't make it easy for you to just go, oh, this is an easy Leicester City win. No, we make it difficult. So I agree with you. I think it will be more of Tielemans one side and Samori the other. I think Samori, he's still a young player. He's still, bearing in mind, he's still relatively new to the Premier League. Again, sorry for the green screen. I could try to sort it out the best I could. But this is, with Samori, he's still a young player. I think he's still going to have time to develop. But the partnership of him and Tielemans, like in the Man United game, I think the game for that against Brentford, both of them we didn't miss in, did he? And I think that's a real credit to himself. Yes, he didn't have a good game, in my opinion, against Arsenal, but I think Brendan Rodgers has shown in the past when a player doesn't have a good game, he will put him in for the next game.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag from Samara in the last couple of weeks. He showed us how good he can be, which is really top level. But he's also showed us maybe his vulnerabilities and the way that he's still kind of getting used to the speed. I think it's the speed of the Premier League in particular. Maybe he's kind of better suited to the Europa League at this moment in time because it's European football is played at a slightly different pace. But yeah, like I do really like Samari, and I think, like you say, we haven't really. It's been a credit to him that we haven't really missed Ndidi these last few weeks up until the Arsenal game. And I would say when Samari came on against Brighton as well, he was a bit shaky in that as well. So I think Ndidi's close to full fitness now, but I don't think he'll risk him in this game. But he might play Hamza. Potentially, I don't know, but I think that Samari Tielemans partnership is still in progress. They're still getting to know each other, but there are signs. And I went to that United game, and in that game, those two were magnificent.
Oh, we met, didn't we?
Of course. Yeah. And and Samari was really really good in that game. So I don't want to knock any of them too much just because of that Arsenal performance. And I, I think we can rely on him if we end up going for him in this game as well.
Yeah, no, definitely agree as well. Ethan's here. Hello, Ethan. Hopefully you're doing well, mate. 6 points on the top 4. Hopefully you can turn it around. I think you're right, but also it's only 10 games in. People get so emotional now that it's like, oh, we're going to lose the league, we're going to win the league. Arsenal fans, some of them are saying we're going to get top 4, and it's like, okay, let's calm down a little bit. We will be up and down. What's interesting, because if you remember the last couple of seasons, we've always started the season really, really well. I think we were looking, this time I know we've got Leeds at the weekend, but this time last year, we battered Leeds 4-1. So it shows you that we were playing big, we went hard at the beginning of the season, did really well, and then slipped off towards the end. Now we're starting the season badly. I'm not saying we're going to end it well, but it's not something that we've seen before under Brendan Rodgers, is it, Tom?
No, well, hopefully we can do it the other way around this season and have a slower start and actually end it strongly instead of having such a painful, slow death towards the end of the season. So, you know, I think those last couple of years have proven how long a season it is because we did start really well. We were absolutely flying, you know, but that's out, you know, after that Southampton 9-0, that season we went on a run of about 7 or 8 wins in a row in the Premier League, something like that. We had a really, really strong run.
And a lot of like 4-0s, 5-0s, 9-0 as well. So
yeah, exactly. But it just goes to show that you know, it's not you know, a season is long, and you know, even though we started really strongly, we still found a way to fall away towards the end when we lost form. So hopefully, you know, this season's a bit different because we still don't have our full squad available. We're still missing some key players. So kind of if we can get through this group, so then we can wait, you know, then the next round will be like around February, so that's plenty of time to get everyone back together, and then piece together a bit of Premier League form and up until Christmas and still be in the mix, you know, for the top 6. Which we are, you know, points wise. I know we haven't been playing particularly well. You know, our performances haven't been consistently good, but we're still in there in terms of the amount of points, you know. So if we just need to stick in there, I think, and then after Christmas, hopefully, if we're there and thereabouts and we're still in the Europa League, we can have a really strong second half of the season.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Again, you're right in terms of if everybody stays fit and also the squad's bigger. We will have to see. But yeah, I think there's a good. I think it's an annoying start because the hope, we know how good this team can be, and we've added to it and not taken any taken any main players out, which is a massive sign. Ethan puts in, once we finish third and goes to conference, do we go to Conference League? I think we do, but I'm with you. I don't want to be in that. Especially with like, I don't really want to be in that. I'd rather just leave Europe altogether.
Yeah, I agree. But hopefully it's extra motivation to finish in the top 2 because, yeah, like that wouldn't be particularly exciting. You know, it wouldn't be something that we would all be kind of really looking forward to. So, yeah, I don't think we want that. That's a competition for Legia or Spartak to drop into. Leicester and Napoli need to be the ones to progress in the Europa League. Like we're the 2 strongest teams in this group. We just need to go out. Like I said, I think if Leicester and Napoli both win these next 2 games, then when we go into that last game against each other, we'll both be through already, and then it'll just be a fight for first place. So yeah, we just need to go out there and do our job. And yeah, we don't want to be in the Conference League. Come on, no one wants that.
No, nobody wants that. Even Tottenham don't want that, and they've just got. To be honest, Tottenham were like, "Yeah, we've got Conference League. Oh, yay!" They
need it. They might actually, you know, they need to win a trophy somehow. They haven't won one in however long it is, 50 years, 60 years. So, well, unless obviously the old League Cup, but yeah, we don't want to be in there with the Spurs. Definitely not.
Yeah, I think it was the Audi Cup back in the day. So there isn't really a lot to shout about. I think recently I saw it was like 5,000 days without a trophy somebody put on Twitter, which is the kind of Twitter that's really funny. I quite like that. Ethan's put in as well. I say play Yuri and Hamza against Leeds. Again, we'll come on to Leeds a little bit later. Hopefully we'll have a preview with Adonis from the Roaring Peacock. Hopefully, we're trying to sort that out as well. But it's, as you know, Tom, the games just don't stop coming, and especially when you start to do content, it just comes so thick and fast at the moment.
Yeah. I think there is another international break coming up, isn't there? But then obviously when we get into Christmas, it's going to be full on. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. But yeah, there is a lot of games, and I think it shows that, you know, a lot of players have been getting minutes across all the competitions, but I think hopefully we do see James Justin and Ndidi back soon. I think in the meantime, like Ethan was saying, I do think that that Hamza is really competing with Samare for a spot at the moment in the team. And yeah, like I think we will go strong tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow. I've done that. I have to keep doing that, but no, on Thursday. I'm getting really confused with the weeks, but yeah, on Thursday, I hope we do go out there with a strong team and see them off. So yeah, but like going into the later games, I think everyone is going to keep getting their chance. We've got so many games coming up. We're still fighting in all competitions, including the League Cup. So yeah, there's plenty of games to kind of mix it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I think I just checked as well. Ethan was right. Indeed, he was on the bench versus Arsenal.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't clock that either. Did not clock that.
No, that's odd. He
Well,
couldn't have been. He couldn't have been fit because you would have thought that at half time he may well have been one of the players to come on if he was fit.
yeah, I think it was, but it was more important to get the two wingers on. I think you can't play Barnes on his own as a wing. You have to play one winger and another. And I think at 2-0 down, you want to try and attack the game, even if you concede a third, which we didn't. But do you see what I mean? So I get it, but at the same time, maybe if he's that for that, he'd be a vital player for this game because I didn't even realize he was on the bench until now. So going back to the formation, Tillemans and Didi.
Yeah,
we know how strong that partnership is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't realize that either. So obviously we did see that there was pictures of him in training. There's pictures of Justin in training. I saw a really good video of Fofana today that he posted on his Instagram of him not training on the pitch, but kind of doing jumps.
Okay.
Like yeah,
Explosion,
it was just
what's it called?
it just shows that like the progress that guy's made to already be at that stage on this early. How long ago did it happen? Like 2 months, like 3 months, maybe max. Such a horrific injury. So yeah, like amazing that he's already at that stage. But yeah, and Didi and Tielemans, that we know that they're our strongest midfield partnership. The thing is, like, I do think that we should be able to put away Spartak Moscow, even with a lot of changes. I mean,
and with
I don't want to be
the Zambian excellence.
Yeah,
Zambian
exactly.
players are scoring. Do you know about the Zambian players like the Fashion Sakala, who's smashing it for Rangers, got a hat trick. Daka's got a hat trick, and then Wepu's doing some amazing. They scored against us, and they scored it against these. Just signed the Zambia team. My God.
Yeah, they might actually, we might actually see them in a World Cup in a few years' time, which I don't know if they've ever qualified. Maybe long ago, not in my lifetime, that's for sure. So yeah, fair play. There's a lot of kind of talent emerging from them. Have you seen the song for Daka?
I love it.
The other day.
We've got some cracking songs this season. Dewsbury Hall, Daka. There was another one recent. I can't remember, but them two in particular, I was like, we've got some bangers here.
Yeah,
and when we went to, I know you tuned into the Norwich game. I think me and Ant were away at the ground. When Dewsbury Hall came on, we sang that for 20 minutes straight. The whole crowd it was amazing. When after the final whistle, he came over and everybody was chanting it. Obviously, had a good 20 minutes there, but I love that chant. I really do, because it's somebody just starts it and everybody knows it.
Yeah, like I think that's one thing that we've always done pretty well, and yeah, but these ones are pretty genius. I saw the Daka one and I was it was great. So yeah, I think it just shows that how quickly we warm to the players as well, and we want them to do well. So whoever gets a chance to play, I do think that we should have a strong enough team to beat Spartak Moscow at home.
I think so.
But we have seen, in the past, last season, obviously that Slavia Prague result, and we have seen some odd ones. So whoever goes out there, whichever team we pick, I just hope that they kind of get that win.
Yeah, and I think again, credit, you got to give credit where it's due. Before, for example, Brendan Rodgers changed to a back four at halftime against Arsenal, and I thought, to be fair, back four has not worked at any time this season. So I thought, what the hell are we doing? Again, I understood getting the two wingers on, but I was like, back four, what the hell? And it worked. It didn't work completely. Ramsdale had an unbelievable game. Like, just, I know you've talked about it with Ant on his channel as well. Just unbelievable. But it shows that we've got a couple of formations that we could play as well. Get to some of the comments as well. David, our most inconsistency is what gets to me. It's the hope that kills you, mate. And that's the thing. Exactly. To Man United, to the first half, Yep. And do you know what? That will kind of be the way Leicester show some more passion. And they did in the second half. And that's what we kind of have to give credit for. We've seen performances like in the Crystal Palace game and in the before that as well, Burnley game, where
Brighton away in the league when we were 2-0 down.
Yes, yeah, we've seen that before, but in reality, there are some good signs that the team is there. For some reason, it's not clicking. Sometimes it doesn't. It might just need, again, as Tom was saying, as you were saying, Tom, a little bit of time just to iron out all these little chinks in the armor. But the good thing is, Jamie Vardy's still scoring, Iheanacho's still doing bits, and Daka's coming into form as well, with the likes of two cams in Perez that are decent, and Madison's coming into form. Which, again, if they can try and save us like Daka did against Spartak Moscow away, I'm all here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just looking at some of the comments, but I think, David sort of hit the nail on the head there as well, because I've talked about systems a lot, and I think that when we do have Evans and Siyunchu, that gives me more confidence with playing a back four. But I think that sometimes it with our performances, I think sometimes it's not so much about the system and the players, but it is about the kind of intensity that we're putting on the pitch, especially starting the game. I don't know why we start the game so slow. Like, it happens so often. Obviously Arsenal 2-0 down, Brighton 2-0 down, and then both of those games, they're two that I can remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are others. Both of those games we've come out in the second half and played, changed, brought a couple of players on and played really well. But it would be nice to see us, start games like that on a more consistent basis. And just play with that kind of level of intensity and pressing and running and all of that we're kind of used to. But also, there is another thing creeping in, which is our problem with set pieces, both conceding from set pieces and not scoring from them. And so these are just things that you'd expect us to kind of sort out and address, because they're really important phases of the game. And so starting well and cutting out these mistakes from set pieces. I think if we can do that, then we'll be looking a lot better and probably start picking up a lot more wins.
I think so. And I think so. It's just going to take time for them to iron out, especially with, again, with people coming back from injuries as well. Again, hope to see James Justin make a sub appearance of maybe in January. Yeah, I think you'll see a lot more. I think you'll see a couple of games in the under 23s to like bed him in a little bit as well. But yeah, obviously him coming into a back three will massively help. He's been a huge loss for us. Obviously, can play on either wing back, can play either backs, full back, and center and left and right of a back three, which is massive as well. Again, imagine with injuries. It's football, mate. This is just how it happens as well. You're always going to have injuries, and especially when we come into the busy part of the season, we'll see. And here's a good point. I think Ethan's put there again. I will get to the rest of your comments, I promise. But Ethan just left the majority of them at the moment. It could benefit us, and it really did when we went to the last international break. I think before Man United, didn't it? I think that really helped us.
Yeah, I think with so many games, we're playing so many games. I think, having a little break and just being able to kind of, really kind of have more time to plan for the next game will really help. I think our league form does really need to improve. So we just got to make sure we win against Spartak Moscow. Then this Europa League group will start looking a lot better, and then hopefully carry a bit of momentum forwards into the league and string some results together. But I think every injuries are a part of football. It's just so disappointing, or it has been so disappointing. Like Justin, it's been so long. It will take time to get back to the, but it's. How long has he been out for? Like, we're getting towards a year now? When did he get injured?
10 months. Oh, no, 11 months. It's November now.
Yeah, 11 months. So, I mean, it's a shame because it's been that long. And I almost, it's easy to forget how good he was before his injury. Like, he was
one of the best fullbacks. And we will talk about him for England. Like, he was that good.
He was. He scored, a couple of the goals and assists that he did. Obviously, that goal in the FA Cup. But yeah, he was just playing unbelievably well. And the same goes for Fofana, like those two are both young really, really exciting prospects who were playing, who had massively improved our team for the here and now, let alone the future. So hopefully, hopefully they will be back soon. Like I think Justin, maybe if not this side of the year, kind of maybe in January, and Fofana perhaps a bit later. But when it will be really nice to actually see us have a fully fit squad and everyone available. But when I saw, I don't know if you saw it, there was like a list of our injuries over the past couple of seasons, all the players and how long they were out for, and it was ridiculous. So I know it's a part of football, but we have definitely been unlucky in that regard lately.
Yeah. I think Ethan was talking about specifically this season. Well, you can correct me if you're wrong, Ethan. You probably leave a comment as well. But I agree in terms of the injuries and how much it wasn't talked about for us and how much it was talked about for Liverpool. I think it was a massive thing. But no, I agree, and hopefully that's not going to happen going forward. Again, I'll save that. I'll tell you off camera, Tom. There's something that we've got an interview hopefully soon. Fingers crossed that'll come true about that. So I don't want to spoil it too much. But that'll be a good one to say as well. He was in the ground warming up. I think it's all talking about in West Side of the Ground. I think it's all about Ndidi there as well. And where's he gone? Ben Davis puts in. I don't think this is the bloke from Tottenham. If it is, I mean, what a terrible performance as well.
He's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan.
Oh, really? Is it one? Is it your?
Yeah, it's my co-presenter on our fantasy show.
Fantastic! I didn't know you was Ben Davis, mate. But okay. Oh, how hilarious that you're named after a Tottenham player.
They got slight. The Tottenham player has the E in the surname, but apart from that, it's
yes,
exactly.
The irony. But yes, would you say Europa League is your best chance of getting into Champions League next year? Or are you still more confident getting top 4? I mean, top 4 is hard. Champions League looks a long way away, doesn't it, Tom? At the moment.
Yeah, I think. Although it's not necessarily a long way away in terms of the points. Like we could still do it. Like it's still possible, but the strength of the teams in the league at the moment, are really it's gone up a level this season, and I don't think we're quite at the level. So it may be a bit of a stretch to say the Europa League is our best chance, because that's still going to be very difficult for us to win the Europa League. But it is another chance to qualify for the Champions League. And if you start getting in the later stages, if we're not in the hunt for the top 4, but we're still in the Europa League, then we can really, really go for that competition, and it could be a way in,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. I think it's good. We'll get some of your comments as well, but this one, in terms of Kante going to Spurs, am I the only one that's not impressed by this at the end of the day? Because obviously he's a top manager, but part of me is just like, this is Mourinho part 2. They tried exactly the same thing, Mourinho. They gave him the money, and what he ended up doing is ruining the club. Obviously, they fired him for Super League, which they look funny because of that. But that kind of thing, do you see what I mean? I don't know if this is the right appointment, because the board is still there, and this is still the same board and the Tottenham mentality. The players are the majority the same as well, and Conte's not bringing in any of his new players yet. I know it worked for Tuchel, but I think Tuchel's on another level to Conte in terms of man management and things like that. Do you see what I mean, or am I just people? I think people are getting a bit carried away with it.
Yeah, I kind of see both sides of the argument. Like, he is, his track record is really, really strong. Amazing. He's clearly a really good manager, but at the same time, I think this is a bigger job than he's had before. Going to Inter with a big purse to go and win the Serie A is very different from going to Spurs in the situation they're in now and trying to compete in the Premier League. So I do think he's got a really big job on his hands. They've got a lot of problems that go deeper than just the manager, like you touched on. They go, I think, with their owners and the squad at the moment. So, but the Premier League is just getting harder, man. Like, we saw the signings that the Big Four made over the summer. West Ham have really kind of gone up a notch this season.
Yeah.
And the level of investment from teams like Villa and Arsenal trying to get back in, that they spent about 150 mil this summer. So I think you know, I kind of knew this coming fifth the last 2 seasons. It kind of felt like damn, because you know it's not getting any easier. But we're still in the mix. Like we're still in the mix. We can still compete, I think. And yeah, like hopefully we can just, like I say, just stick in there. But I think top 6 is kind of more realistic for us at the moment.
I think so. And in terms of obviously going to the Europa League, it depends if we get out of the group. I think if we get out of the group and Napoli aren't with us, that is a big. If we get top of the group and Napoli aren't with us, I know Tom, obviously you want both to go through, but that's a big statement in terms of the Europa League and who's going to go for it as well. So that's what I think, because it could be an option, but I'm not pinning my hopes on it as of yet. But we have the squad, as we found out with Brighton, to try and compete on both fronts as well. And yeah, during the international breaks again, Thomas played for Divardi for a fortnight. Whatever works. And I think actually Luke Thomas might be on international duty for the under 23s, or under 18s, or under 23. Sorry. So there is quite a strong squad. There's only who's not going to go. Jamie Vardy won't go, and there's not that many else. Everybody else, if they're fit, will go. So who else? Samora, yeah.
Samara wouldn't get,
But it might go for the under 23s.
Maybe.
See what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely not like it used to be. I don't think we can really talk about the international break as a time to kind of regroup, because yeah, like you say, I mean the training ground must be pretty much empty. But it's still a time for Rodgers to kind of take a step back and maybe assess things a little bit. And yeah, there'll still be a few, like, you know, Dewsbury Hall and Chowdhury and a few players like that who will still be knocking around. So yeah, Harvey Barnes, Madison.
Yeah,
So there's still players there. Perez. So
Lookman, who might change his mind and decide to go to Nigeria as well. He might change his relations to go to Nigeria. So we'll have the Nigerian trio as well.
Wow, hopefully he doesn't do it before
Perez, before. Yeah. Thanks for updating every single player. But thank you, Ethan.
I said Perez before you, Ethan. So
sorry.
I'll take that one. I'll take that one. No, just kidding. I mean, hopefully Lookman doesn't switch to Nigeria before, what is it, January, because the AFCON, the AFCON coming. We're already losing Ndidi, Amati and
Mendy, Daniel Amati. I don't think we lose
Kelechi.
Kelechi Iheanacho. Is there one more? No, it is. It's not Daka. I don't think. No. I think Daka and Amate, Zambia and Ghana haven't qualified, but it's like most likely that they won't go because the results have to go their way in order for them to qualify, I think.
Right. Okay.
For both of them. So
yeah. So I think Ghana have, but I think so. But so Ghana and Nigeria, so we'll definitely lose Ndidi, Kelechi, and Amati. But hopefully not Lookman as well. Yeah, hopefully well. I mean, fair play to him. If he wants to go and play for them, then you know, that's
a strong squad. It's a strong squad. It really is. So I don't. Yeah. It's not like it's still a strong squad as well. So yeah. Nip, when I've just seen can you check Twitter? I'll get back to you after this as well. So I know you've been asking us from last time. We'll try and sort something out as well. But apart from that, this answer is unfortunately no. I don't think he's good enough just with the quality of the squad. I'd love for that to be the case, but he's if he can't get into the first England team, if I Leicester team, he's not going to get into the England team. Apart from that, we'll just finish up a little bit now. But any final thoughts in kind of the games in 2 days' time, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I think we've kind of covered it, but I think it'll be interesting to see what team Rodgers goes for. I think, like I said, I think we will play a pretty strong team. Hopefully, you can make 5 subs anyway.
I think.
Yeah,
Barnes will start and Lookman.
Yeah, I think Barnes, Lookman will come in. I think the rest of the team will be fairly unchanged from the Premier League, and like hopefully we can get the win kind of done early, kind of in the first half, because obviously you can make 5 substitutes, so then we can maybe start bringing off some of our key players like Yuri and stuff, and give them a bit of a rest. But you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Like, it's going to be super easy. It's still going to be a tough game. but it's a big one. It's a big one. You know, we don't want to go down to the Conference League. We want something to look forward to in the second half of the season, right? So even if the Premier League isn't going quite as well as we'd hoped, then we've still got this to look forward to. But yeah, I mean, let's look at that. The fact that they lost 7-1 at the weekend. We might have had a bad game against Arsenal, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah, let's smash these guys and yeah, take the 3 points. And thanks, Omar. Sound. Big up to
no worries. Yeah, I think I was going to say you were both on Ant's channel as well. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leave the like, all that good stuff. Make sure you go over to Tom's channel. I don't know if you got a video coming out this weekend, Tom, as well.
Yeah, we will. I've actually had a bet. Yeah, man, we will. We will ahead of the weekend. I've actually had a better week for fantasy for once. I've had a good week, so I'm feeling better. I'm feeling up in the world. So yeah, I'll be a bit more chirpy this week for our show.
Fair enough. That's good to hear. Love to hear it. Hopefully, we both can be after these two results coming into the international break as well. We've got some good interviews coming, so make sure you stay subscribed to the channel, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Because I'll tell Tom afterwards, but we've got some good interviews coming. It's not quite Emil Heskey. That we peaked. That was unbelievable. I'm not going to lie, but we've got some good interviews coming for the men's side and the women's side. So make sure you stay tuned for them. Apart from that, like, subscribe. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.